and make sense of this diversity within your clients in one region? And how do you approach, your mentee and give them what they need that's quite unique to their, context and situation?
Beautiful question, actually. So rather than focusing on the circumstances and then start our mentorship process, what we do is we just assume that our mentee is a sum total of his or her circumstances, right? And then we ask them, okay, if you have infinite resources in the world, all right, and there is one thing which you see on a daily basis around you, and it really irritates you, it angers you, it infuriates you, that why is this problem still there? Why is nobody solving this? Why is it still happening? What is that problem that you would like to solve? Now, what I'm asking them to do is, I'm asking them to reflect on whatever is happening outside their homes. Whether they're in Delhi, or in Itanagar, or in Coimbatore, it doesn't matter. And then we start getting very interesting problems to solve. I'd like to give you examples from both India and abroad. One of our students from Mumbai, he talks about that there are a lot of spare tires of vehicles which we can see around the mechanic shops, and they're just like there, nothing is happening over there. And then now he's working on a research paper wherein how can we extract steel and rubber from those spare tires, what kind of machines can we use, those machines already exist, what is the cost of bringing them to India, which company can support it, why is it not happening already, if this is not happening in Bombay, then in smaller towns it's even a bigger problem, and so on. Another student from Chandigarh, he said, Chandigarh is a beautiful city, and anybody, if anybody is here from Chandigarh, they will say that this is the best city in the world. So, but he says there's one problem. We don't have enough garbage bins in Chandigarh. So whenever we want to throw something, I don't find anything. So now what he's doing is he's creating an app which has smart garbage bins located all around the Tri-City area. And now if you want to throw something, you know where to go, what kind of garbage, if it is organic, if it is plastic, if it is metal. He's creating an app, he's mapping the entire city like that. When we mentor students from Iceland, we realize that they want to use AI to improve the diagnosis of breast cancers. Why? Because breast cancer diagnosis is one of those cancer diagnoses which suffers a lot from human intervention. It suffers because most of the diagnoses are wrong. When we mentor students from Oman, we realize that they want an app which can help students find better career opportunities. Same with Ethiopia, same with Ghana, same with Cameroon. When we mentor students from Algeria, we find out that their school systems are not allowing them to use the chemistry labs in their schools, because if they go to the chemistry lab and they break something, the school cannot replace it because of lack of resources, as Nidhi was also talking about. So what they did was they created a simulator that first the student will show the teacher on the simulator on an iPad that this is the chemistry experiment that I'm going to do, and if the chemistry experiment on the simulator is okay, then they will let that student inside the chemistry lab. The innovations are going to come from the surroundings, from the circumstances you're growing up in. We let them decide what the problem is. And taking a bit of what we were discussing about resistance. So we felt the same. Students were resistant, parents were resistant to our mentorship techniques, and that's why my copyrighted model is called micro experiments. That we are all experiential learners. Let me try with this activity. If the student doesn't like it, we know within a few days we change it. We tweak it. It's a micro experiment. You don't have to spend 4 years in computer engineering and then realize, no, I should not have been a computer engineer. You do that in 2 weeks. And so that is where all those educational theories that we studied, constructivism, Montessori method, we do a lot of andragogy in our practice. And I'm very happy to say that now these things are getting recognized in the mainstream. We recently got invited by a couple of ministries in the government of India to consult them as to how we can help the most marginalized students in our country come up with innovations. Because hey, we all share the same DNA, we all have the same brain power. It's just a matter of whether you were born in a city like Delhi or in a remote, beautiful place in central India. Just because you're born in a different place doesn't mean you should not have the access to the best innovative practices in the world.
Well, thank you so much. That's a really nice segue into the Q&A session, and I'm going to promise you we're going to end on time.